Olympiakos wearing their red uniforms will host Anton Orleanais wearing their black uniforms. Borussia jumping it up with Colville. And we are underway in the first quarter with the French team having first possession. This is Aldo Curti, the point guard.
A lot of movement there by Orleanais.
Get a ball inside and come back out with a wide open three, which won't go. Borussia, first team all Euroleague center a year ago, rips down the rebound for Olympiakos. They go right down low. This is Kleza in a post, can't hit on the jump hook. So empty trips for each team to start things off. Curti has it knocked away, but a foul as he drove in there. And it'll be an offensive foul on Curti.
We're going to take another look there. I guess I don't know about that one. But anyway, it was a good defensive play, good hands. And Teodosis, of course, is going to run the point.
Well, it's the opener for the officials as well. May take a little while to get into this one. Kleza the drive and hits. Kleza is going to be a great weapon for Olympiakos. Should do great in Europe this year.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, here he just drives there, goes up, hangs, and then hits a nice little floater. But this is a guy who scored 41 points in the game for Denver last year, and he is coming out and he scores has taken the first two shots, so he's being very aggressive early.
Vasilopoulos picks up his first foul. This is Justin Dolman, the versatile big man. They set up the lob for him, but taken away by Borussia. He smelled that one out.
Yeah, good anticipation that time by Borussia.
Josh Childress, the open look from the baseline, cleared away by Dolman. Antant likes to move the ball up quickly. He'll try to shoot a lot of threes. Right now, this is Colville on the block. Out for Curti, open. Look, and he buries it.
Yeah, got nice inside-out game that time. And Curti knocking down the open jump shot, and they're on the board.
1 point lead for the visitors in their first ever EuroLeague contest. They made it through the qualifying tournament to get here. Teodosic spots up and nails a three to put the Reds back on top.
Yeah, now we here see a little bit of full court pressure and a turnover. Good pressure that time by Teodosic, following up on that outside shot. And Teodosic is really starting to come on as a player. We saw him a few years ago. He's now 22. He's really matured. He's had a great summer and was all-tournament first team in the Eurobasket 09 that was played this summer. So he's now starting for Olympiakos. And, again, this kid has a lot of talent, overall player. Does everything well.
Borussia, good look for Kleza, who steps to the basket or waved that off, said he traveled.
Yeah, good call there by the officials. Just took one too many. But Kleza, I like what he's doing. He's going to the basket hard. There's one, there's two. You can't do that. You got to put the ball on the floor. But I like his aggressiveness early here tonight.
That one might have slipped by last year in the NBA.
No, come on.
No?
Although they changed the rules, I think, this year and are allowing an extra step when you receive the ball like that.
Nichols off penetration, lost it. Colville dives to try to keep it alive, and it's going to be a tie-up situation. Vasilopoulos tied up with Ryvon Colville.
And there's the loose ball on the floor. Going to the floor. I like the hustle by Colville. And the ball goes to Olympiakos.
Teodosic with great size at the point guard spot, 6'5". So this is a very big starting lineup, including the backcourt for Olympiakos. Kleza at the high post and taken off the rim very nicely by Anthony Dobbins.
He got up high there.
Nichols.
Not sure.
He might have traveled as well.
I might have called. They're calling him close. There's one. I don't know. Yeah, I think he got the ball down there. I don't like that call at all by the officials.
That looked good. That looked like a good play. Look at this lineup. You've got Teodosic at 6'5", Vasilopoulos 6'7", 6'8" for Kleza, 6'8" for Childress, 7 feet for Borussia. There's Childress, the baseline drive and the slam.
Well, Childress got great quickness, and he just exploded to the basket that time. and of course got the dunk shot. But he's a very talented, athletic player now in his second year with Olympiakos, and you look for a lot of improvement now that he's been over here in Europe and really can understand the game a little bit more.
Dobbins misses the outside shot. Here comes Kleza. Borussia swings it near side. Another drive to the baseline. Childress is bumped. The foul before the shot.
Well, Childress is doing a very nice job of taking that baseline, and here he uses his explosiveness here. He gets to the line. There's a little bump that time, but Dobbins has got to take that away from him. Childress is just, he's too quick, he's too big. And, of course, Dobbins is giving away 3 inches as it is. Dobbins at 6'5". Of course, a very good defensive player.
This is Vasilopoulos into the lane, and this is a bump. This is Austin Nichols picking it up. So Orleans is starting to pick up some fouls here in the first quarter.
Yeah, we'll take another look, and Vasilopoulos using again his quickness and going to the middle of the court. Nicholas now will sit down, but it's very obvious here. Olympiakos is using a lot of their quickness and experience and taking the ball to the basket.
Cedric Banks, number 4 in black, has come in to replace him for Orleans. Curti getting a piece of that, but it was last touched by Childress, so over to Orleans it goes. Some new uniforms this year for Olympiakos. They've got the traditional red, of course, but on the front now with the stripe look. Dolman looking for the entry to Colville, has it on the baseline, trying to back down Borussia. There's the miss. Flying in was Dobbins, but he couldn't control it. So now Olympiakos looking to add to that 4-point advantage. Kleza in the post.
And Kleza gets called for the travel again, shuffling his feet when he received the ball there. It was a good call there by the official. We're going to take a look. There's 1, 2, yeah. I guess you might be right. This is not the NBA, and they're going to call it over here.
This is Banks driving into the lane and dishing late. Block up top, but a foul on Borussia, and that will send Colville to the free throw line.
Well, Orleans doing a nice job of the penetration, bringing the defensive player. The good dish that time, and Borussia got the ball, but also got part of the wrist. Colville, who is a player that was really a factor in the qualifying rounds, averaging 11 points, shooting 61% from the floor. So he's been playing very well of late. Of course, went to Detroit Mercy College in the United States. But he is an inside post player and has been, like I said, has been playing very, very well for Orleans. And one of the real big keys or factors of why they have now made the Euroleague.
So that stops a bit of a drought for the French team. Teodosic picked up the dribble but found Borussia in the post. And Vasilopoulos from nearly out of bounds buries the 3 to make it a 5-point lead.
Well, he is a solid contributor. We know he can shoot threes. He's a very good defensive player and a real compliment to Childress at the forward position.
Nichols pull up from the elbow and hits.
Nichols coming off a screen with a little curl on the weak side. The defense trailing, just pulled up and hit a nice little jump shot.
4:40 to go in the first quarter. Clay's on the wing, left alone. He'll shoot the 3. Borussia battling on the offensive glass, saves it out for Kleza. Kleza takes it through traffic and hammers it home.
Well, again, that's what happens when you get a second shot. And Kleza, with a nice little hesitation, froze Colville that time and what took all the way to the hoop, really uncontested. But that second shot opportunity was all created by the rebound by Borussia.
12-7 Olympiakos. Approaching the 4-minute mark to go in the first. Dolman has it in the post, goes for the turnaround. Ball tipped around, stripped away by Nichols, but a foul, no basket. Nichols fouling Borussia as he tried to take it away.
And Olympiakos controlling the defensive boards, in particular Borussia.
This is Dobbins with the foul. Kleza touching it on most possessions for Olympiakos. Now back in the hands of the point guard, Teodosic, fouled out front. First foul of the game on Cedric Banks, who's coming off the bench for Anton Orleanès. Fifth foul on the team, so we're already to bonus territory, Gale.
Yeah, like I said, I think that Olympiakos is showing that they can really, penetrate and attack the basket, and as a result, they're getting fouls that on Orleanès, and like you said, we're in the bonus already, which is going to be trouble for Orleanès.
So both free throws good for Teodosic, who expects to play a much expanded role this year for Olympiakos. We're seeing that. Now it's a starter. Some more pressure from Olympiakos.
Yeah, nice full court pressure by Olympiakos. And we got another traveling call.
Wow, that's the fourth one so far on both teams.
Yeah, a lot of turnovers early here, which I think is probably characteristic of the fact that this is only the first game in Euroleague.
9 turnovers total. The French team was 6 in their first ever Euroleague game. Inside Baroussis, back out Vasilopoulos. Baroussis in a post-up now. Tried to get it to the other block to Childress. It was picked off, and Banks was fouled as he crossed half court. Vasilopoulos picks up his second.
And we see another turnover by Olympiakos, getting a little careless. Vasilopoulos making the foul, really to stop the action.
And now into the game for the first time, Von Wafer, one of the new signings for Olympiakos. Wafer's spent parts of the last 5 seasons in the NBA. Played quite a bit last year for Houston.
Well, he sure did. He averaged 9.5 points a ball game. So, again, with Wafer and Kleza, 2 great additions for Olympiakos this year. And there is Kleza with a very nice defensive rebound.
3 minutes to go in the first quarter. Teodosic tried to force it into traffic. Here's the turnover. Nichols to Banks. Back to Nichols. Oh, count the basket. An incredible hoop. A chance for a three-point play. Wafer was draped all over him, but could not stop the basket.
Well, this is a picture-fast break of sharing the basketball and a little back and forth action. Terrific shot. It was contact. He stayed with it. And Nichols goes to the line. Now, Nichols also was an outstanding player in the qualifying rounds, averaging 12.8 per game in the 4 games of the qualifying. So he's a factor also for Orleanès that must be content with by Olympiakos.
This is Childress. Down low, Baroussis. Spinning to the baseline, double team, finds the cutting Kleza. A beautiful offense there from Olympiakos.
Yeah, nice passing there between the big men, and Baroussis brings both players. And Kleza moves very well without the basketball, sees the gap, and cuts right in there and gets a nice pass.
Curti lets fly. Rebound to Wafer. Wafer weaving his way into the lane. Can't get it in off the glass. Rebound Dolman. Banks quickly up, and Colville lays it in.
Orleanès looking to run when they can.
They don't have the overall size of Olympiakos, but they can certainly run with them. Here is Childress. Baseline, Kleza poked away by Colville. It'll be Olympiakos ball underneath. 1:47 to go in the first quarter. 9 on the shot clock for the Reds. Catch and shoot off the bounce pass inbound. Teodosic off to a good start. 7 first quarter points.
Yeah, Teodosic did a nice job of coming to the basketball, and Curti, a little defensive mistake, allowing Teodosic just to come and catch the ball so that he could just rise up over Curti. Again, Teodosic has a little bit of a size advantage, actually 6'5" to 6 feet, quite a bit of a size advantage. You look at this Olympiakos team, they've got great size at every position, Mark.
It is a Group B matchup. Opening week of games, Euroleague 2009-2010. Mark Brown along with Hall of Famer Gail Goodrich as Justin Dolman hits the baseline pull-up to pull Orleans back within one as we open quarter number 2.
Yeah, Dolman's really a complete player. Does everything well and hit the nice medium-range jump shot there, pulling up. And at 6'9", he is a difficult matchup, and again is one of the key players here for Orleans.
Had a very strong 4-year career in NCAA ball with a good program, Xavier. Really sets up, his game sets up very well for Europe. He should have a nice career over here.
Nice little defensive pressure here by Olympiakos. They're really starting to come out and pressure the ball a little bit more. Olympiakos, a team known for its defense, and that's a very difficult shot. Good pressure that time.
Vati, though, in a sea of red, can't get it down, but did a great job just to get a shot off in there off the offensive rebound. 1 minute gone in the second quarter. This is Papaloukas double team.
Yeah. And, you know, looking at some of the stats here for the first quarter, is a nice cross-court pass there. The shot is missed, but you're looking at some of the stats in the first quarter. You see Olympiakos shot 62% from the floor on twos, shooting the ball very, very well, while Orleans only shot 37%. Olympiakos, of course, is still continue to control the boards, but both teams turn the ball over more than each coach would like to see them do.
Cedric Banks goes to the bench, into the lineup for the first time. Laurent Chiara, veteran point guard, wearing number 16 in black. Dolman comes down with the rebound, quickly looking ahead for Nichols, ahead of the pack, blocked from behind by Patrick Beverly. Beverly, very athletic, only 6'1". Look at this play.
Boy, it's a great play there by Beverly, because that was an easy 2. And Orleans is doing a nice job of running the floor, getting the ball out, and trying to, you know, go with the early offense in transition. But a terrific defensive play to save, too, by Beverly.
And a foul in the lane against Olympiakos.
Well, Nichols really got a height advantage on Beverly, and he got a little one-on-one situation that time. A little bit too much pushing in the back. Nice call by the officials, but that's a mismatch with Beverly and Nichols.
They go right down inside. Vati this time goes to the left, won't go. Ripped away by Barousis. And Papaloukas letting fly the 3 in transition.
I'll tell you, he's something. He doesn't shoot that 3 too often, but when he does generally knocks it down. And, you know, here he is another year, the great Papaloukas. Of course, led the league last year in assists.
Vati inside, foul from behind by Barousis. That's the second foul on Giannis Barousis. And he will go to the bench for Olympiakos. And we'll see for the first time today, Nikola Vucic, one of the fine players in Europe over the last 10 years.
And needs only 15 points for a career 2,000. And here again is the mismatch.
Oh, they keep going at it.
Yeah, Orleans has nicely recognized that mismatch, and they're going right at Beverly.
Keeping it within 2, 7:40 to go in the first half. Plays up with Mormon on him, number 15 in black, also checking in to start the second quarter for the team from France. In the corner, it's Clazen. Into the lane, a reach-in foul. This should go against Austin Nichols. Could be Mormon. And it is Mormon.
Orleans on the defensive end is doing a nice job of, here we see the push there that time by Mormon with the forearm.
Yep.
But Orleans is doing a nice job of double teaming when they can on that screen and roll. Here they are both out. They comes out, he shows himself. Papaloukas backs out, running the point.
Childress, what a step-through move to lay it in off the glass.
Yeah, he was terrific going to the basket. He's a slasher. Here's a nice move. He went right around Mormon that time and took it right to the hoop.
4-point lead for Olympiakos. Anthony Dobbins. He lifts Beverly, but traveled stepping under.
He doesn't quite understand that call. Didn't think he shuffled his foot. Let's take a look here. There's the... Yep, he did. He moved both of them.
Can't have two pivots.
Yeah, you got to have one. You pick whatever one you want, but you got to pick one.
Definitely switched him for sure. 4-point advantage for Olympiakos.
See, there's a double team.
Is double teamed.
A double. Now they sort of zone up.
Beverly gives back on top. Vasilopoulos just back in. Quick catch and shoot for Childress. Got a very awkward-looking shot and hits his first from long range.
Yeah. He does have an awkward shot, but he can shoot that basketball out there, and we see him the ability to shoot outside, and also we saw him time before go to the basket.
Well, we've got a player down on the baseline. It looks like it's a Papaloukas took a shot.
I didn't see what happened that time, but it was away from the ball. We'll take a look here, down here. Okay, he got hit.
Right on the chin.
He got hit on the shoulder, but I think Papaloukas at 6'7" is a little bit stronger than that. I think he was looking maybe for a little acting career in Hollywood or something like that, because that was not that hard.
Vati will try from 18. Papaloukas went high for the rebound. It was tipped away by Sciarra, and it will remain Olympiakos ball. 6 minutes to go in the first half. Here's Vucic, big man with great skills to play away from the basket.
A terrific passer, and when he comes out there and at the top of the key and handles the ball, you got to really be careful if you're guarding another player, because he can.
Vucic inside, and an 8-point lead.
Terrific bounce pass by Papaloukas to set up, and then a great finish by Vucic.
We'll take a break here on ESPN and be back with more first half action. Olympiakos in command. Largest lead of the game, second quarter. Olympiakos with a 27-19 lead over Entente Orléanaise from Orleans, France. Peace and Friendship Stadium, Piraeus, Greece, just outside of Athens. How about that dancing into the lane? But coming up empty was Banks. Now it's Beverly quickly back the other way for Olympiakos. Papaloukas directing traffic out front. Huge size advantage, as you can see, over Banks. Back in the hands of the Greek master. Beverly sizes it up and hits the three.
Nice little jab fake, moving the defender back and really putting some space in between him and the defender, and just rose right up and drilled it.
This is Sciarra, a 9-time All-Star in the French League. Oh, how about that delivery inside? Vati finishes after it was laid off by, I think, Nichols.
Yeah, he did a nice job of really sort of weaving his way through the defense, and then once he got underneath and got the defender up in the air, he found Vati for the dunk.
Well, they forgot about Vucic down low. Vati gives up the foul.
Vucic is 31 years old now, and really has been in the league for a long time. Is a very crafty player. He just makes himself available, makes himself attractive, and just sort of found a spot in the gap there underneath the basket. Of course, he has a lot of experience. He's a 5-time all Euroleague player. He's been on 2 Euroleague championship teams. He knows the game, and like I said, he's a very skillful passer. And he just, he knows the game, and he may not have the quickness that he had a few years ago, but he's certainly a valuable asset and a real solid contributor for this Olympiakos team.
Now has the lead up to double digits. Vucic.
Sort of token pressure. You can't really pressure Sciarra too much. He's a veteran guard with some Euro experience. One of only 2 players on this team that has Euro experience. So for Orléans, this is a new venture for him. The French team here has never played in Euroleague basketball, and this is sort of a step up in competition.
There's a foul out front as Moorman Reaches in, picks up his second personal, third on the team. So Orleans doing a little bit better job not picking up quick fouls.
There's a reach in right there.
Justin Dolman comes back in. Dolman in his third professional season. All in France, but his third team. Besançon last year started off with Cholet the year before. And Vucic, since coming in to replace Barousis, has made a great impact.
When there's a, terrific block there by Childress.
Semi-transition, Beverly decides to set things up. Vucic on top. He can trigger the offense from out there. Childress in traffic sets up Vucic just inside the arc. Rebound Banks.
And here goes Orleans looking to run.
And wide open down the lane was Colville. Big man can get out there.
Yeah, he can run the floor, and Orleans is doing a nice job. They're hanging in here, and they're still down 10, but they're doing a nice job of really getting the ball out and getting down the court before Olympiakos gets their defense all set.
Great defense by Dolman. He shut the door and ripped it out of the hands of Vasilopoulos.
And here they go again.
Nichols, the pull-up in transition hits. It's the area where Olympiakos could be in a little danger, turning it over and not being able to run down the floor with Orleans.
Well, they got to do a little bit better job of really getting back on the defensive end, because there's a turnover.
Cedric Banks.
And here we are again, running the floor.
Slashes his way inside, blocked very nicely by Yotam Halpern just into the game for his first action. Now numbers the other way. Vucic down low, and a reach-in foul on Ryvon Colville. His first.
Well, that time Olympiakos really countered with the pass, and here's a great block. Banks taking it in a little bit too deep that time, trying to challenge the bigs. And then Olympiakos was out and the other way.
Halpern on one end and Vucic on the other. Two mainstays for some great Maccabi teams. They came over to Olympiakos last year and were part of the team that made it to the Euroleague Final Four.
Well, you look at Halpern, and, he comes off the bench, and he is also a former All-Euro player. So they bring Halpern and Papaloukas off the bench at the guard position. Beverly has come off and played very, very well. So this is a very, very deep Olympiakos team, particularly at the guard position.
There's the couple of defensive numbers for you. Olympiakos has come up with 3 shot blocks so far today. Now with a 9-point advantage. Dolman way short with Childress in his face.
Yeah, a little quick on that shot there. You get that shot with a couple more passes.
Childress showed 3, now steps into the lane, but traveled. Oh, he could pick up a technical for that. In frustration, he fired it off the backboard.
He's a little upset at himself, as you see there going off. Here we get to see.
So another turnover. A bit of a sloppy opener for these two, but the Reds of Olympiakos with the advantage at home. Late second quarter action. Olympiakos showing some pressure off the inbound with the 9-point advantage. Look at the numbers in the paint.
Nice pressure, man-to-man defense now by Olympiakos.
Nichols, one dribble in the pull-up. Rolls out, but Colville puts it in. It was knocked out from inside the cylinder illegally.
Well, Colville's doing a very nice job on the boards and particularly getting inside position. That time he had the inside position of Vucic, and his size and his jumping ability, if there's a miss in and around that basket, he's got a very good chance of getting that rebound, and of course then puts it right back up.
Aldo Curti picks up his second foul, 5th on the team. That's going to put them over the limit. And Olympiakos will have 2 free throws in the form of Patrick Beverly. Beverly in his first season with Olympiakos, but his second professional season. He played at Arkansas in NCAA basketball, collegiately the United States. He had SEC Freshman of the Year performance and then left after his sophomore season. Academically, there were some issues. Played in the Ukraine last year.
averaged 17 points a ball game, so we know he can score. But as you look at him, you see how quick he is. He's got very a good deal of quickness, and I think will fit in nicely with this team here at Olympiakos.
Nice help defensively. Vucic came over to close the door on the Nichols drive. It'll still be Orléanais' ball underneath. 9 seconds on the shot clock. See their head coach, Philippe Hervé, pacing along the sidelines. Big step up for them into EuroLeague competition, and they have earned it. Really moved up the French ladder the past couple of seasons and winning a qualifying tournament to get in this prestigious EuroLeague for the first time ever.
The foul on Beverly that time. It looks like a late whistle call. Beverly can't believe it. We'll take another look. A little tough to see there.
Gonna put Nichols at the line. Trying to salvage one of two.
You know, you look at this Olympiakos team, and I think we need to make mention that Shorts and Titas and Papanikolaou are missing this game. Two very key performers for Olympiakos, and they're missing this game with the H1N1 flu. But Olympiakos, you can see that for them, those two to be missing, plus what they got on the court, they are just really a very talented basketball team.
That they are. Kleza gets the foul from Dolman, his first, a chance for a three-point play.
And we see, the pass by Vucic there. But Kleza is doing an outstanding job of moving without the basketball and really finding the gaps in and around the hoop as he comes from the weak side and then receives that pass and goes right up there. And Kleza basically is playing the guard position, at 6'8", and with his ability to move and put the ball on the floor and shoot from outside, he is going to be real tough to match up in this EuroLeague. Just an outstanding basketball player.
Here's Dolman. Turnaround jumper. Rebound Vucic.
Dolman with a little indecision that time whether to shoot it or not.
And banking it in off the window. Kleza in double digits now, leading all Olympiakos scorers.
Olympiakos doing a nice job of getting the ball up the court in the early offense, and once again it's Kleza finding his spot in the open and then delivering.
8 seconds to go in the first half. Nichols on top. Curti trying to create off the dribble in traffic, and a foul with 1.6 seconds left. Patrick Beverly will pick up the personal, and it's going to send Curti to the line, a chance to close this second quarter.
Well, Curti drives into the lane there, doesn't really know what to do with it, and I do not like that call. It looked like Curti really stuck his his left arm out, and really created the contact by Beverly. I would have liked to see an offensive foul called on that. But he gets the call and goes to the line. Yeah,
Curti was out of options there. Had nowhere to go with it except to do what he did.
And running out of time.
And he got the call.
And now we see a careless foul, this time by number 7, Dolman, here on the rebound with about a second to go. And now we're going to walk to the other end, and we're going to shoot free throws. That foul is uncalled for. You got to let that go. That's just really inexperience. Although you would not expect that from Dolman. You said he's played 3 years now in Europe, but that's not a good foul at all. And who goes to the line but Kleza?
Looking to add to what is a 12-point Olympiakos advantage. Kleza's got the first. A legendary Greek player, Coach Yanakis, now making his mark as a head coach. Both free throws good. And it's 44-30. Still a fraction of a second to go here. It's got to be a very quick
catch and shoot.
Catch and shoot with 0.4 to go. Nichols to inbound. Banks firing away, and that'll do it for the first half. Well, a bit sloppy as far as turnovers are concerned, but Olympiakos will take it. A 14-point halftime advantage at home over Anton Orleanais. Let's take a look back at some of the moments from the first half. Josh Childress got some stuff done on the baseline.
Yeah, absolutely. When he gets the baseline, he's just too athletic and just rises over everybody and just dunks the ball.
That the wing shot from Vasilopoulos, and certainly having their moments as well was Orleanais, little pull-up in the lane from Anthony Dobbins. But Linus Kleza, how about his first half?
Yeah, terrific
points.
Yeah, and 6 rebounds, just terrific. It moves very well without the basketball. We see him here once again cutting down the lane and receiving the pass. But he has been a big factor here in the first half.
Let's look at some of the team numbers. A 14-point lead for Olympiakos over Anton Orleanais. They have out-rebounded them. They've moved the ball better. They've shot it better from three-point range. The star of the game has been Kleza, the new addition after 3 years in the NBA. Certainly ready to help Olympiakos, who has the ball to start the second half. Mark Brown along with the Hall of Famer Gail Goodrich as the team from Greece hosting this one and looking very much in command. And a foul immediately. This one will go against Aldo Curti.
Well, there's no question Olympiakos has been in command right from the start, and while I think they have not particularly that sharp on the offense, they are shooting the basketball very, very well, and are certainly the dominant team here thus far.
Von Wafer crossing over and gets the lay-in as he gets the start in the third quarter.
And we see his athletic ability and his ability to really just use his quickness to get down the lane. And we see here now that Olympiakos doing a nice job on the defensive end, putting on a little bit of pressure.
This is Mormon out front. Show shot from way out there. Knocked away by Barousis. This is Childress in the open court. Numbers. Oh, beautiful delivery for Wafer, and it blocked, though, by the hustling Mormon.
Well, we saw a terrific fast break that time, a great pass by Childress, and then Mormon with a great defensive play to stop the 2 points. Olympiakos doing a nice job of getting out on the break, but Orleans getting back.
Here's Teodosic. 1 minute gone in the third. Problem with the handle for Barousis. Barousis now screens. And letting fly was Kleza. That wouldn't go. Curti bringing it up. And then the dunk at the other end by Colville. Colville has 10 points now. That's the leading number.
Well, it's a terrific pass, and he gets out and runs the floor, and Olympiakos is just not doing a good job, as we see now time and time again, of getting back. But Orleanais, they do run the floor.
Barousis inside, still looking for his first points here. Lost the handle. Dobbins took it away. Orleans quickly down the other way. Nichols getting the roller. Did Dobbins tip it in? It was close.
And we see once again Orleans the ability to run the floor and getting some high percentage shots. And Olympiakos just does not look sharp on the defensive end. Nice backdoor cut that time by Vucic, who throws the ball off of number 15 Mormon.
Well, some great results in transition when they've been able to do it. They're 6 of 8 in transition shooting, which would tell you they should do some more of it if they can. Talking about Anton Orleanais.
Well, the way you get out in transition.
Look at that passing. Great job at big to big. And the foul on Dobbins reaching in on Barousis.
Yeah, just terrific interior passing that time as we see the big man and the cut by Barousis going to the basket. But just a nice job of passing and moving the basketball by Olympiakos. And I was saying that Orleanais, if they can get the ball out and run, they can really be a factor. But they got to pick it up on the defensive end, and they have to rebound. 2 things you have to do before you run.
Coach Giannakis, who was such a great player with Panathinaikos. Also Thessaloniki and Panionios, national team member, now presiding over a very talented Olympiakos club. How about that inside? 3 defenders around him. Doesn't matter. Childress puts it in. He has 8 points. The lead is still well up there in double digits at 14.
Well, you cannot give him the baseline, particularly on that left side, and he just explodes to the basket and then uses his quickness and his jumping ability to jump over the defender. And that time it was like 3 up defenders, but he's twice now. We've seen him take that baseline and go right to the basket.
Plays are ripping more rebounds, 7th of the game. Wafer brings it all the way back out. They'll reset with Teodosic running the point. 3 minutes gone in the third. Kleza gets to the hole and lays it in with the left.
Yeah, nice, clever move that time by Kleza, just going between the defender and right to the hoop.
A 16-point advantage, largest lead of the game. And a palming violation as Austin Nichols carried the ball.
It's a little bit of a hesitation move that time, but he hesitated a little bit too long. Can't pick the ball up and then it's discontinued dribble.
There are the turnover numbers. 12 for Olympiakos, double digits as well for Orleans.
Yeah, both teams aren't real sharp handling the basketball. It's early in the season, you can see that. And here Clay's again moving well without the basketball with a little jump hook coming from the weak side. He has been very, very effective tonight.
Just doing work. Post-ups and driving to the basket. Quick hands from Wafer, knocks it away. And then the reach-in foul will go against Austin Nichols.
Well, Wafer doing a nice job. Wafer of doing a nice job coming from the weak side and really anticipating that pass and uses his hands. And now look goes. Nice.
Looked pretty clean.
It did look pretty clean to me.
We'll take a timeout and be back with more of the third quarter. 6:14 to go in the third quarter. Olympiakos with an 18-point advantage over visiting Entente Orléanaise, otherwise known as Orleans, as we look at their head coach, Philippe Hervé. It is a Von Wafer at the free throw line, fortuitously for him as he had the ball stripped away, but a foul called on Nichols. One more free throw coming to try and make it a 20-point game. He does just that.
I like his game. He's really come in here in the second half here early on. Didn't play too much the first half, but has done a nice job here of really coming in and adding a little bit of spark to Olympiakos.
Olympiakos taking twice as many free throws as has Orleans, and maybe not a surprise there. Colville, though, working down low. 12 points, getting a lot of stuff done off the offensive glass.
Yeah, he's been very solid tonight and been a really nice contributor for Orleans, doing a nice job at both ends of the court.
A little adjustment on the ankle wrap from Adrian Moorman.
With his Nike shoes.
Vasilopoulos holding, sets up the lob for Baroussis. Now we know what he was waiting for.
Yeah, he really was. It wasn't exactly, the execution was a little slow in developing, but the finish was terrific. Great pass right up there at the rim, and easy for Baroussis just to put it down.
Quite a run right now for Olympiakos as they push that lead up to 20.
Well, they're certainly in command right now. There's no question about it. They are starting to pull away from this young, inexperienced Orleans team that's really sort of getting their feet wet, you might say, in the Euroleague competition.
That's the third foul on Baroussis. Moorman from deep in the corner. Baroussis pulls down the rebound. Halfway through the third quarter. Teodosic tries to fire it down low. It was tipped out by Baroussis. This is Vasilopoulos.
Traveling.
And he traveled, yep.
Changed his pivot foot. Nowhere to go. Right there. Good help there coming. One. Then he moved his pivot foot there.
Well, the opening EuroLeague game for both these teams, and Olympiakos yet to get their Greek League season underway either, so quite an opening test here. There's another hoop inside. 14 points for Ryvon Colville, about the only thing that's going well right now for Orleans. Childress wants the pull-up just inside the arc. Foreman, the rebound. Curti gets into the lane and finishes over Barousas. Great drive.
Boy, he really did challenge Barousas that time, getting down the lane, and Barousas has got to really recover and get there quicker. But a nice shot that time by Curti.
Still a 16-point lead for Olympiakos, playing in their home stadium, Peace and Friendship Stadium in Piraeus, just outside of Athens. One of the storied sporting clubs in all of Greece, needless to say. Of course, their blood rival Panathinaikos got quite a prize last year in the Final Four.
And Vucek, he you know, with a nice behind-the-back pass, he can pick you apart. I mean, he's a big man at 6'10", going outside, and really has got great vision. We saw a good example of that right there.
Vucek, one of the best passing big men, clearly in Europe. That's been the case for a long time. Curti,
he's starting to heat up.
Little burst here. Still a 16-point difference. 3.5 to go in the third. Wafer. Childress from the wing. Empty trip for Olympiakos. Attacking once again is Nichols and draws the foul on Childress.
And once again, we see Orleans, just the ability to get the ball out in the early offense and really attack the rim, going right there. There's the nice drive, the foul by Childress. And Olympiakos, if I would say there's just one negative that I've seen here tonight, it's their ability to get back in transition, as Orleans is really taking advantage of that. And they have gotten a number of opportunities by just running the floor.
Yep, transition defense, an issue here right out of the gate for Olympiakos, and could be something that a more talented team could expose from Olympiakos down the line. There'll certainly be some Group B opponents watching this tape.
Oh, nice work by there. Wafer just splitting the defense and going right to the hoop, and then using his athletic ability to just jump up and over the big man and have a nice little short jumper.
Curti to Nichols. Nichols on the baseline. Can't hit, still after it. And he touched it last, so it will go over to Olympiakos with 2:29 to go in the third quarter. Still a 16-point advantage for one of the favorites in Group B. Olympiakos, Partizan, Unicaja, Efes Pilsen, Lietuvos Rytas, and today's opponents.
This is going to be a very tough Group B as we go through the Euroleague competition.
Wafer showing the quickness. He'll have a chance for a three-point play.
This kid is really athletic. I mean, his ability to penetrate and to attack the rim, to attack the defense. We see it here, and he goes right to it. And then his jumping ability. I mean, he's up there at the rim as he finishes. I like his play.
Wafer averaged almost 10 points a game for Houston last year in 63 games. 11 of them starts in parts of 5 seasons in the NBA, as we said, but almost all of his experience came in those 63 games. The others were just bits and pieces here and there. 109 appearances overall over 5 seasons. 63 of them coming last year in what was a really big breakout year for him. Blocked from behind by Vasilopoulos, but a foul will send Curti to the line.
Take another look here. He's into the lane now, and there's a nice little pivot shot, and then he gets fouled from behind. And Curti has been one player here in this third quarter who has really picked it up for Orleans.
And he has at the free throws. 18-point advantage, though, for Olympiakos. Now under 2 minutes to go in the third.
Lucas, number 19 now, is running the point for Olympiakos.
All right. Lucas getting his first action. Youngster. Plenty of room for Vasilopoulos. Can't hit the three. Vucic is there.
I'll tell you, he is very, very clever. He's not a big jumper, but he knows how to get position. Again, he knows the game of basketball. And it just got that rebound and then a nice little jump hook. It's very, very effective.
Curti trying to use his quickness against Vasilopoulos. Somehow finds Dolman for the dunk.
Curti again driving the lane, penetrating. Orleans getting a little bit away from their offensive sets, but he did a nice job that time and got the ball to Dolman.
No basket. It'll be an offensive foul on Vucic.
Nice screen and roll opportunity that time, and Vucic just got up in the air, and Curti comes in underneath him, and I think he's in the, oh, he gets outside the little circle, so it's a nice call there by the official.
He made up a lot of ground there. Vucic was pointing to that little semicircle saying, hey, he was inside it, but replay, good look at it there. Clearly shows that Curti made the play and got outside.
Yeah, good work by our camera crew.
Cedric Banks in the lane. Tough off-balance shot. Oh, just taken out of the hands of Vucic by Ivan Kovel, who dunks it home. 16 points for him.
But Kovel, he's been very impressive. He's came into this game with a real challenge against Borussis and Vucic, both former All-Euro performers, and he's held his own. Kovel has held his own very well today.
He sure has. He's done what he does and has been very effective down there. Before that shot, it was on the drive and pass off of Wafer on Cedric Banks.
Yeah, and Cedric Banks is just having difficulty staying in front of Wafer. Wafer has just really been able to penetrate and get into the lane and go to the hoop at will here in the third quarter.
Wafer was a second-round pick of the Lakers in 2005. Played a little bit with them, a little bit with the Clippers, some with Denver, Portland, and big year with Houston last year as we close out the third quarter. Olympiakos with a 17-point advantage, very much in control at home in their EuroLeague opener. Start of the fourth quarter, Olympiakos with a 17-point advantage over Anton Orleans in this battle of the Greek power of Olympiakos versus a newcomer to the EuroLeague from Orleans, France. Mark Brown along with Gail Goodrich as Orleans has it down low. Kovel gives to Dolman, but a traveling violation on Dolman.
Another turnover for Orleans, and both teams actually have turned the ball over quite a bit tonight, and actually through three quarters, Olympiakos turned over 14 times, 12 for Orleans. But Olympiakos continues to shoot the two-point shot very well, shooting 74% through three quarters. Controlling the boards 27-18, and just really in command of this ball game through the first three quarters. There's Vucic going to the basket, nice little curl move, and going to go to the foul line. Shoot two.
So Vucic back at the line. Foul was on Justin Dolman. It is his shot. And Vucic, for 3 years running, was the top center in all of Europe. Multi-time All-EuroLeague performer. Two-time EuroLeague champion with Maccabi, 04 and 05.
Now we have Papaloukas and Wafer at the guard positions.
Halpern drives and dishes for Kleza, who keeps just filling it up. 19 points for Linus Kleza.
Actually, Olympiakos has now gone small. They got Papaloukas at the forward position, along with Kleza, Vucek at the center position. And then you have at the guards, you got Wafer and Halpern.
Here's the steal. Halpern ahead of the pack will lay it in. Yeah, they've gone small, and they're still bigger than Orleans.
That's right. That's right. Halpern with a little bit of token pressure there on the dribbler.
That is Chiara holding out now. Inside. Vati can't hit from point-blank range. And now the Reds are on the move with the 22-point lead. Extra pass. Now it's Kleza to the baseline. Right back to Vucic. Blocked by Dolman in a great defensive play. And here comes Orleans. Dolman from the wing in transition. And a whistle. Stopping play.
And I'm not sure what happened.
Kleza is down and now being helped up.
Yeah, he was down from at the other end, but I'm not sure why you would stop play until they received the ball. As Orleans had the ball.
Yeah.
So I'm a little puzzled.
The first look at Andreas Glinianakis.
Glinianakis, this is his. He's back in the Euroleague this year. He used to be with Panathinaikos, 98 through 01. Had a cup of coffee with the Seattle Supersonics in the NBA. And he has again come back to play with Olympiakos this year.
12 men have played for Olympiakos. As Dolman hits the pull-up jumper. Now a 20-point game.
Running the point.
Kleza down low. Halpern right back out again. Kleza. It's down low. Draws two defenders and draws a foul. Vati and Dolman looking around say, hey, I didn't get him. Who fouled him? It's going to go against Vati.
And Kleza just drives, gets a little in between two players, goes up. I think they both hit him.
Yeah.
I think they both hit him, but Kleza was really determined that time. He was going to get that shot up. And
Von Wafer getting a big hand coming out after what was a very solid second-half performance for him, replaced by Patrick Beverly. Beverly, the smallest man on the Olympiakos roster at 6'1", but when he plays bigger, he's involved in a lot of rebounding action. Pretty athletic at 6'1", very young. He's 21 years old. Back to a 22-point advantage. Kleza's got 21 points. Banks hitting from the corner.
And he steps out. And he does what he does best, and that's shoot the three.
He's a big scorer at the University of Illinois Chicago. Three-time first-team all-conference selection there. Led scoring. Conference, that is. 3 fouls on Vati. Look at the shooting numbers. Olympiakos shooting 62% for the game.
Oh, yeah. They really shot very, very well.
Was turned over by Glinianakis. Dolman catch and shoot from the wing. Papaloukas the rebound. Quickly up ahead to the streaking Beverly. They're going to call him for a walk.
Oh, my. Oh, my.
That is the overriding theme of this game.
Yeah,
traveling calls.
Now, that's a call that they have, but here he catches it 1, 2. They have now changed that rule in the NBA this year to allow that, but it's very difficult to catch, and going at his speed to get that ball down before that second step is taken And, I think it's a call. Well, the NBA has changed it this year, and I think it's a good rule. I would not be surprised that if the Euroleague doesn't follow, the rules in Europe don't follow in the near future. I mean, that's a bad call there.
Coming up on 3.5 minutes gone in the fourth. Halpern, high post. This is Kleza, has it back. Trying to find Papaloukas in the corner. Sciarra, the veteran, poking it away. Some shades of gray into the...
Well, he's 36 years old, yeah, and, it happens.
It does happen.
Yeah.
For me, before 36, so... Just saying.
Yeah, well.
Just showing that he's a veteran.
Yeah, he's been playing for a long, long time.
Dolman missing a three from out top. Hasn't been a great game for him. Here's Beverly in transition.
He's had trouble knocking down shots.
That he has. Pull-up jumper. Kleza gets the roll.
He has not had trouble putting the ball in the basket.
No.
He's done it all tonight. Outside, inside, rebounding.
Well, he's originally from Lithuania, but did play college ball in the United States at Missouri. He's been in the NBA since 2005, and is now bringing his game back to Europe. And, he is doing extremely well.
Yeah, he really is. And, of course, he's a player that everybody really began to watch when he was about 16 years old, playing for Lithuania. And has got a lot of international experience. I think he surprised a lot of people when he left Denver and decided to come back to Europe. But I think the people in Greece and Olympiakos are quite happy because he is definitely a star.
Yeah, and obviously there's been a bit of a trend in a quality NBA player who is now willing to come to Europe, who maybe he's not going to get quite the contract offer he wanted in the NBA, but is starting caliber ability. Childress did it last year.
Yeah, and I think
plays again.
Yeah, and Childress really, is getting paid as some $21 million over a 3-year period, which is very, very good. And he couldn't get that at the NBA, and I think you're going to start to see that. I think Childress more and more. He really paved the way for the NBA player. And of course, the EuroLeague and the basketball in Europe is getting better and better.
Olympiakos missing inside. 20-point game. Montant bringing it up quickly. Sciarra.
Yeah, the quality of basketball in Europe is just is really starting to, like I said, get better and better each year. And I think that we're going to have an outstanding year watching EuroLeague this year.
There's no question. And, even some players who are maybe a cut below the Childresses and the Kleza, a Wafer who, clearly had to open some eyes last year, got quite a bit of playing time, but can come over and get a much bigger payday here than he was going to be offered.
And he's a very talented player. I mean, you guys got great quickness, and Olympiakos has gone out. They spent the money. They brought in just an outstanding team. Panathinaikos has done the same thing. Ceska's done the same thing. I look for Real Madrid, which is Rubio this year. So it is going to be a really very, very competitive and I think a great season.
Dolman fouled under the basket. Vasilopoulos commits it. Fourth foul on him, third on Olympiakos, who has the 18-point lead.
Yeah, I mean, you look here at Dolman. I mean, he's in his third year right now, and he's a very good player. He's not played well tonight, but you can see that he has got some talent. He's maybe a little not as quite as physical as he maybe could get, or that's one of the areas he needs to work on. But he can do a lot of things out there. And like I said, he has not had a good game tonight, but you can see that he can play.
Averaged 15.6 rebounds last year in France for Besançon, and will be counted on heavily for the Santon Orléanais team. He's down 16 at the moment. 4:20 to go. Beverly Splits two defenders. Trouble with the handle, but finds Papaloukas. Reverses it up on the far side.
Yeah, nice play by Beverly. Splitting the defenders and then, Papaloukas, spotting Papaloukas underneath. Wide open for the easy delay.
Cedric Banks, the lefty, wants the pull-up. Instead, drops it down low. And Ryvon Colville, pretty much all of his points have come right down there, and there have been 18 of them.
Well, he takes very high percentage shots, and it was a nice screen and roll. Good look that time. And a nice pass roll to the basket, wide open. And he takes high percentage shots, and he plays very smartly.
Alprin hits from the corner. And Olympiakos now over the 80-point mark, back with a 19-point advantage.
That was not a good shot by Banks that time. That was a little quick and a little hurried, and you can get that shot anytime. I'd like to see a couple more passes and have everybody touch the ball if possible.
I think Coach Philippe Hervé is saying just that. Well, in French, perhaps, over on the bench.
Yeah, well, he would definitely say that after the game. or at least at the next practice, that will be mentioned.
84-63 as Olympiakos converting at 69% points in the paint in their opportunities. So outstanding, over 60% overall as well. Childress coming back into the game for Papaloukas. Size, talent, depth. Olympiakos has it all. Obviously, they will challenge, as they always do, for the Greek title. And after a very strong performance last year to get to the Final Four of Euroleague, they are hoping to do that just one better this year. Maybe two better by winning it all. They're certainly one of the teams in the mix.
Yeah, they're definitely one of the preseason favorites. And, they got there last year losing, I think it was 2 points to Panathinaikos in the semis. And Childress was hurt. I mean, Childress didn't play. So I think that it's certainly a preseason favorite. Parts of their game was not real sharp here tonight. They did show some real talent and the ability to put the ball in the basket. They rebounded well. Did not get back on defense as well as I think Coach would like to see him. But that's, again, it's early. They're passing the ball here. Nicely hit the spot up and the shot.
That was Vasilopoulos from deep. 2.5 minutes to go. Olympiakos not coming back from last year. Sharpshooting little guard, Lynn Greer. Also Prentices, who was a very explosive type of forward who could score for them. But what they got back, I think, more than makes up for that. Kleza, he's going to be a beast of a scorer in Euroleague this year.
Yeah, I agree. This kid here, Childress, is also is much improved from last year.
One more year under his belt in the European game. Well, granted, he missed some time last year, as you mentioned, but
I think also it's a little bit of an adjustment to come here to a new country, a new culture, and to fit right in.
2 minutes to go in the Week 1 EuroLeague opener. Group B matchup between Olympiakos hosting Entente Orléanaise from Orleans, France. Today's matchup coming from Peace and Friendship Stadium, Piraeus, Greece. And, it hasn't been a fantastic performance for Olympiakos. Too many turnovers, a little sloppy, but overall,
credible.
And they've certainly shown us that all of the hype surrounding their potential this year, well-founded. Mark Brown along with Gail Goodrich and an 18-point Olympiakos lead. They've used 12 players today, not including 2 who have been caught up in the H1N1 flu situation. That Sophocles Shortsianidis and Kostas Papanikolaou. What they put out on the floor today, more than enough to dominate Entente Orléanaise in their maiden voyage in EuroLeague. This is Konstantinos Sloukas, one of the elite Greek prospects. A miss on the free throw, but Childress rips it down and puts it in.
Yeah, and once again, we see the athletic ability of Childress just really jumping over the defense, getting the rebound, and then putting it right back up.
Well, take a timeout and be back with more of the fourth quarter. 1:40 to go in the fourth quarter. Olympiakos with the 21-point advantage over Anton Orleans. Home game in their Euroleague opener, Group B matchup between the Greek power Olympiakos and the French upstart from Orleans, as they make their first ever appearance in Euroleague and have had more than their hands full with Olympiakos. This is Vati battling inside, and he turned it over.
Yeah, looks like a little frustrated there that time, and turned the ball over. But Olympiakos, I mean, they have just really dominated this game, and right away we see number 17 Beverly again just using his quickness and taking the ball right to the basket, or attempting before he got fouled. You know, you look at Clays' numbers. Here's a guy that had great numbers today. I mean, look at these: 9 for 11, 23 points, and 9 rebounds. I mean, how good a game has he played? Has he put up good numbers? Wow.
Yep. Outstanding performance for him.
Yeah, and then you look also at Wafer, who's gotten 10 points in really 15 minutes of action. It's been very, very effective off the bench. So there's been some very good performances here tonight by the Olympiakos players.
Skiara. Nichols step back from deep in the corner. Tough shot. Gets it to go.
Really tough over Childress, who put a lot of pressure on him that time.
All that does is get it to a 20-point margin. This game throughout the second half has been flirting with that number, a little over, a little under. For much of it, it was a 14-point halftime advantage for Olympiakos. They built that from a 4-point lead at the end of the first quarter. So slowly they got things going in the first half before really starting to dominate in the second half. There's Childress with a late flourish here. His numbers are going to look pretty good at the end as well. He's missed all 3 of his three-pointers, but he's been very good down here.
Yeah, he had real good. And again, he got the baseline and goes up there, goes behind the backboard, comes back using the backboard and the rim as protection, and then rises over the defensive player. But he is very, very tough when he gets to that baseline. Not a good three-point shooter, as you mentioned, missed all 3 of them today. But that's about the only thing that he hasn't done is make a three-pointer.
7 of 9 within 2-point range for 15 points. That's the second highest total. For Clays' 23 in the game as we're down to the final 14 seconds. Second foul on Childress. And one more to go for Austin Nichols. Nichols, 21 points a game last year in the French League for Ayers Toulon. That led the French League in scoring. Be counting on him heavily to try to be competitive in a very tough Group B. So final seconds ticking away here, and a 22-point advantage for Olympiakos, who doesn't need to take another shot. And will have it blocked at the buzzer, will Konstantinos Sloukas. So that will do it. The EuroLeague opener under the belt for Olympiakos. A home victory, 94-72 over Anton Orleans.